Taurus, this is your weekly tarot reading for November 25th through December 1st. So we are going to do one card per day of the week and then one card to wrap up the energy of the entire week. And then at the end of that, there is going to be a 3-card pick a card. It will be yes, no, and then I will expand upon the cards once they come out. And this is Rogue Mystic Divination, so thank you for tuning in. If you are new, thank you for clicking on the reading, and if you have been here for a minute, thank you for your patience, because it's been real. But regardless of whether you're new or you've been here for a minute, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I am getting back to putting dailies and everything else up on a more regular basis. Also, if you would like a personal private reading, I do have a Ko-Fi link below to my shop, so please be sure to click that, and that is where you do that. So, for Monday, this feels like something coming in abruptly and kind of taking you off of your feet, but it is going to allow you to have a new perspective of what exactly is going on, and the pieces are going to fit much better upside down than they did whenever you thought you were right side up. Like if you change your perspective, or if you turn the painting or the puzzle upside down, you'll be able to see what's actually going on a lot better. For Tuesday, you have the King of Wands in reverse, so applying your energy differently is going to be what makes your actions actually do something. It's not going to be the effect that you want them to have, but your expectations of a situation could have been wrong to begin with. If you feel yourself scrambling to make things make sense, it's not going to benefit you, so just almost let the fire burn out before you try to make sense of the ashes. And Wednesday, these ideas were not exactly doing you any favors. In fact, they helped you get into a position where you are bound and gagged. You're blinded to what exactly it is that's going on around you, and as much as it sucks, it seems like you may have done this to yourself. You're imprisoned by your own ideas and actions, and you may end up finding yourself trapped because of somebody emotionally manipulating you. You may be keeping yourself from acting, though, because you feel like you're at fault for this. Whatever emotion is here is shallow. But these ideas and this training have done nothing but made it easy for people to pin you in. For Thursday, I want to go back to Wednesday for a second. This is almost training. Training people so that they are easily manipulated. If you train people like for a job, or if you're in a mentorship position, make sure you're giving them tools, not show them how to do things and not how not to do things, because giving them a list of things to not do and ways to not act is not going to help them. They need answers, not more questions. And for Thursday, there is a decision that has to be made, but it's going to end up revealing some bad choices that have been made. You may actually have to admit to some bad choices that you've made, and that's not necessarily going to make anything better. And somehow in this situation, you have actually committed to something by not committing to something else. Indecision is a decision nonetheless, and that could be where you're sitting at right now, Taurus. For Friday, and I'm sorry, backtracking again, no answer is an answer. If they're not willing to commit to a yes or no, like a definitive, then you are a second choice, and there is something else going on that you don't want to admit to, and in saying that, you may be the person who's not willing to give a definitive answer. If you're keeping someone around as a second choice or a fallback, be honest with yourself and what it is that you're doing. For Friday, we have the Three of Pentacles, so there's going to be some kind of teamwork that you end up being involved with, whether it's building onto an idea or in a work position. Make sure that you are working with the people that you're around rather than working against them or doing your own thing whenever you actually need to be aware of what it is that they're doing. Especially if you're in the higher position, make sure that everyone is actually on the right track and knows what it is that they need to do and have the appropriate training that they need in order to complete this. Setting people up with half-baked ideas as to what it is that needs to be done, and with only knowing how to do half of what it is that they're supposed to be doing in order to accomplish this, is setting them up for failure. It doesn't look like you're going to be doing that, though, but beware that somebody else isn't doing that to you. Do not be afraid to confront them. Just because you're bringing it up does not mean you're being confrontational or you're being aggressive. It just means that you're asserting an issue, you're asserting a problem, and and trying to actually deal with the situation before it becomes a problem. Saturday, we have... There's going to be something you get to celebrate, but it may not be what it is that you thought it was going to be. You do have a lot of creative opportunities coming in. It may involve one other person, but it's going to make you pretty happy. You could just be involving this person because you want someone to share this with, but for the most part, it's going to be your celebration. For Sunday, we've got Justice in reverse, so you may actually be undoing a decision that you had previously made. Even though this says it's a lack of accountability, it does look like you may be admitting to some lack of accountability that was in the past. It doesn't really feel like you're being dishonest now, but maybe you were being dishonest in the past, and now you're trying to do something to undo that. I don't know why this feels like this is coming from the past, but it's almost like you're trying to rectify it and fix something that you may have instigated. Due to some kind of false information that you received from someone something incomplete. And wrapping up the energy for the entirety of the week, we have the Star. So you're going to get something that you've been hoping would end up coming to fruition. So it could end up giving you purpose for the future and have you looking towards positive things coming in that you don't have to necessarily be actively involved in. This is generally a good sign that you will get what you need this week, regardless of what else happens to be going on, and know that a soul wish that you've had for quite a while is actually going to wrap up and end up being exactly how you want it, but it's not going to look the way you wanted it to. And for your 3-card pick a card, we've got 1, 2, and 3. So for card 1, if you picked card 1, it is a yes/no answer and an expanded meaning. The answer is yes, and you will be able to find the strength in order to deal with whatever issue it is that comes up. And even though you may be trying to keep the past from repeating itself, it will, but in a different way than what you fear is going to happen. Everything repeats, and it could be that a relationship from the past is going to end up coming back around, but you will have the strength in order to handle it this time when previously you weren't able to. Card 2. If you pick card 2, your answer is no. If you ask this about a person or a situation, it is not in your best judgment to deal with this anymore. You feel defensive whenever it comes up for a reason, and you need to remember that whenever you're forced to deal with this person or this situation or this thing. You need to maintain control of yourself, not of the situation, because the situation is not your problem. There's a reason why it feels like there is a line dividing you and it, or this person, and it's because you are disconnected. They are two separate things, and you need to persevere in the fact that you are an individual and that some things you just don't have to deal with. For card 3, you have the 2 of Swords, so whatever choice it is that you end up making, you're making it because you know you're going to be screwed either way, essentially. You're going to have to defend yourself. It doesn't matter what choice it is that you make, and you're going to have to essentially be blind to something. You're going to have to turn a blind eye. And it's just in order to get out of this and out of this corner that you're in. There's a lot of emotion that puts you here, and there's nothing you can do to get out of this scot-clean, or scot-free. You do just have to let go. You have to decide what it is that you're willing to let go or let slide, because there's going to be something that you have to deal with one way or the other. Avoidance is not going to help you, though. And Taurus, thank you very much for tuning into this weekly reading. I hope you gained some kind of insight into any of your issues that you're looking forward to, or fearing that you're going to have to deal with this week. It is Thanksgiving, so who knows what's going to come up. But hopefully that helps out some, and If you like this reading, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week or tomorrow for your daily reading.